Hey, how y'all doing out there? I got some more crazy news for y'all. People in Chicago not planning on paying their taxes. Mayor Johnson is panicking. The whole city look like it's about to be under siege. Hopefully they could figure out a way to work things out, because if they don't, I don't know what's going to happen to Chicago. We're about to get into this news, but before we do, I need y'all to do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
I guess $1 Million Tony couldn't make it today. She too busy loving her home she just got for $1 million, while we just received these high property tax bills. So we all here because of our property taxes. Some here, like Zoe and Miss Jessica, because y'all stealing black people property. So I just want to know, because we just came from the city council meeting. We're coming there, and the city is blaming the county, and now you just blaming Springfield. And then when all these people, when they go to these town hall meetings and you send your puppets, they lie and they blame the invisible white man. Somehow they are pushing us out of our community. They want our property. They want black people property. They never say who it is. They just say, you know who they are. But when I come up in here, I see all black faces. I see Democrats. So are we talking about the Democrats are pushing black people out of their communities? The Democrats hate black people. The Democrats want our property and replace us with illegal aliens, because you all come in these meetings talking about the invisible white person, but we don't never see him, but we see all of you all here. And then you sit here, all these black faces, you sit here all Democrats, and you sit here all arrogantly like your seats are secure, like we are not coming after these seats. Just like I told Brendan Johnson over there the first time I spoke on that mic, I said the same thing that's making y'all laugh in here gonna make y'all cry. And then you see what's happening. Same thing here. Now I'm giving y'all warning right here. The same thing that's making y'all laugh in here is gonna make y'all cry. Mark my words. See, y'all sit here too comfortably, thinking that everything, black people stupid, that we don't understand what's going on, that we're going to vote blue no matter who, and all y'all got to do is use the race card. All y'all got to do is call white supremacy, the white man. But we're in a heavily Democratic city from top to bottom, state and city, all Democrats. So can we say that the Democrats are racist white men or white women? Who is it? Because this is what y'all telling us. So I'm letting you all know, Chicago flips red. We are not paying these taxes. We are calling for a boycott on these taxes. Nobody is playing this game no more. We won't pay our taxes until we get a forensic audit on where all our money is going. We're demanding that. We're asking President Trump to send the feds here.
30 seconds.
The DOJ here. We need a forensic audit on where our money is going. And we are not paying no property tax. And we are calling for a boycott, and we're going around to every ward in the city and calling for it. You all gonna learn to stop playing with us, and you all gonna learn that you all work for us, and none of these seats secure, and we coming for those seats. And you can sit there like you sitting there, like you unbothered, all of you all. Yeah.
It looked like they trying to do everything in their power to get the black residents out of Chicago, but they just can't take a hint. Hopefully they don't do no Hurricane Katrina madness or have a major storm come up to where the people have to leave Chicago, and before they can make it back, they don't raise the rent and the taxes so high that people would rather stay wherever they go. You never know what they got up their sleeve. They using this Brandon Johnson and everybody mad at him. But the truth of the matter is we really don't know who pulling the strings behind the scenes. The culture of Chicago is so messed up. I can kind of understand why they putting the pressure on the public, even though I don't believe they should. But that culture is all the way jacked up there. And they figure since the culture jacked up, they might as well jack up the taxes.
Many Cook County residents are reeling today from a whopping property tax bill that came out late and much higher than expected. Chicago's south and west sides are seeing some of the biggest increases. Our political reporter Chris Ty has more on why downtown may be to blame and what some residents are doing about it.
The pain is real here in North Lawndale, where property tax bills are going up on average 98%. In West Garfield Park, it's up over 130%. And one of the main reasons why is because of what's happening or not happening over there in downtown Chicago, where in the Loop, they've collected 129 million fewer property tax dollars this year than they did last year.
My property taxes went up 75.86%. And so
Richard Townsell of North Lawndale has a friend who saw his jump 237%.
my wife and I, we had a budget meeting last week as we were looking at this. You know, does that mean maybe we don't take the vacation we thought we were going to take?
Thank you all for coming.
A frustration that this weekend led to this bill burning, led by the Lawndale Christian Development Corporation, which he is executive director.
It was a Boston Tea Party kind of moment where it's like taxation without representation. What do we do about this? Not just whine about it.
One idea is to lobby for a state law in Illinois, similar to one in California, that caps property tax hikes at no more than 2% a year. Consider Englewood residents saw an 82% jump this year, an average of $609. In North Lawndale, it was $1,900, and in Garfield Park, it was $2,000.
I think it's incumbent upon us as citizens to give our elected officials what we want. We should be pressing them around the bills that we want to see, not waiting for them to come up with a solution.
The problem, County Treasurer Maria Pappas says, is what's happening downtown.
All these high-rises, commercial buildings that you see downtown are unrented because the businesses have left the city. So somebody had to pick it up, so the residences are picking it up.
Picking it up begrudgingly.
I think government needs to learn how to live in their means, because guess what? You and I don't get a 100% increase on our pay.
Residents burning mad over the way government is spending more than they have.
It looked like only the black people complain, and they need to investigate and see if everybody getting hit with these tax bills, or is it just the black residents of Chicago that's getting hit? And if they are, if that is the case, that means, like I said earlier, they just want them to leave the Chicago area or find somewhere else to be disruptive. But not all the people are disruptive. There's some good, hardworking, great Americans, black Americans in Chicago that deserve better. But you know what they say, one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. They talking about putting more taxes on top of the taxes, and by them putting this woman in the news, it looked like it's only making things worse. The more she run her mouth, the more they raise the taxes.
Joining us now from Chicago Flips Red, Daniel Carter Walters. Danielle, we appreciate you so much. Thank you for spending the time with us tonight. What was your reaction when you heard about this Washington Post editorial? He's raising taxes and papering over problems.
Yes, first, let me say thank you to Gregory Bravino for coming back. We welcome you with open arms. And yes, Brandon Johnson have lost his mind. And I think most of Chicago who received that enormous property tax bill, I think they're with me. We're not only funding illegal aliens' free lifestyle, we're funding Brandon Johnson and his administration lifestyle. If this 2026 budget passes, his Commissioner of Aviation, Michael McMurray, is set to receive a $58,000 raise. If this budget passed, Mary Richardson Lowry, Corporate Counsel, she's set to receive a $21,000 raise. If this budget passes, Chris Brown, who's over the Chicago Public Library, he's making $217,000. He's set to receive $223,000, and that will be making him. He'll be making more than a mayor. So these are the type of raises this administration is getting. Let's talk about Chris Brown over the commissioner over the Chicago Public Library. He's set to be making all this money. So listen, we're tired. We're the taxpayers, we're done, and we see that they're spending our money on illegal aliens, funding them, and on their lifestyles. We're done with this. When we saw that property tax bill, the residents are mad. We're going to town halls all on every south, west side, north side. They're angry, and we're not going for this. So we thank ICE because we know billions of dollars went to fund illegal aliens. And President Trump and ICE is cleaning the city up.
So how can they be giving themselves tens of thousands of dollars in raises when Chicago is failing? You know, they basically, they spent through their pandemic funds and they're still spending like they have those pandemic funds when they don't. The pandemic's over. And they're keeping bloated payrolls or programs. They want things like a $33 a head tax on each worker working for large businesses. Those businesses are going to flee. Chicago could tip over. How can they give themselves tens of thousands of dollars in raises when Chicago is basically in the red?
Because they don't care about the citizens. We fund their lifestyle, and the aldermen, which is they're getting raises, $3,000 to $4,000 raise. Byron Central Lopez, alderman, he said he's fighting for illegal aliens to get rental assistance because they're scared to come out of their houses because ICE is on the streets. He's calling for an eviction moratorium so that they cannot be evicted. Landlords cannot evict illegal aliens because they're scared to come out of their houses because ICE is in the streets. And he wants us to keep funding this.
Me personally, I think they trying to tax the people of Chicago for having the National Guard come in, clean up the immigrants, because that's what the black residents was complaining about. Trump said it himself. He was getting calls nonstop from black women begging him to come to Chicago, get rid of the immigrants, and make the streets safe. And what did he do? He sent the National Guard to Chicago, cleaned up the immigrants, and made the streets a lot more safer than it was. But ain't nobody say they was doing that for free. Now they got to pay for all that National Guard service that they've been begging for all of these years. And to make matters worse, they talking about putting video games in bars and restaurants just to help with the taxes.
Johnson is facing a big decision today as well.
City Council passed a new budget plan over the weekend, and he has to decide whether to sign it or veto it.
Political reporter Paris Schutz has the latest. Paris.
Yeah, Dawn and Terrence Amir is holding all the cards close to his vest today. He's not expected to meet with the media until tomorrow morning when we may know his decision. Now, on Saturday, City Council approved the remaining budget items with a 30-19 vote, actually gaining one vote from the day prior, and that means they're 4 votes away from a veto-proof majority.
We have to create a synergy in this city to bring businesses back into this city. Businesses are the ones that make this city grow. We have to grow jobs and opportunity. We can't keep hitting businesses over the head saying, don't come to Chicago.
Now, the big difference, as we've talked about many times, between the Alder's plan and the mayor's plan, no corporate head tax. And that's despite the mayor's attempts to put it back in at the 11th hour. The plan does include a cloud computing tax, higher plastic bag fee, debt collection reforms, and video gaming in bars and restaurants. Now, behind the scenes, lots of politics at play. The Chicago Teachers Union has spent campaign money supporting the mayor, but business groups have lobbied hard for the alternative budget, which has led some mayoral allies to call out one of the top donors to that group, former Rahm Emanuel advisor Michael Sack.
All my people in Chicago, I'm praying for y'all, man. They talking about putting the video games in the bars and the restaurants. That ain't gonna do nothing but cause people to fight over who won and who lost. They might just get to shooting in the club, and I ain't talking about with the duck hunt guns. Maybe Trump need to just go out there and figure it out on how to get the mayor out of there, get all of them politicians out of there that's corrupt, because they trying to use the black residents of Chicago like they some fools, and these people ain't going for it. They talking about not paying their taxes, but let's be real. If they don't pay them taxes, they just gonna have back taxes with interest. And you know the interest gonna be crazy because they acting like they need that money tonight. And if they ain't trying to give it, all hell gonna break loose. But all problems will be solved if everybody just leaves Chicago. If all the black people got on the expressway and left Chicago, I'm pretty sure they'll lower them taxes in a heartbeat. But they won't let us know about it. Y'all gotta let me know how y'all feel about it, man. I got so much love for y'all. Make sure y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And one more thing before I go.
Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. But if that's not what you like, then you must be a punk. Hold on now, here we go. Who is this girl? She got that junk in her trunk. Baby girl, back it up, poke out your rump. It's S.A.T. that you want, and my music